happened? What happened actually?
Oh, I don't know. I'm playing today, but I think my hand. So I'm very tired today.
So tiredness is one thing, but the plan was from Rizal, your team manager, telling me that the plan is to win 3-0. What's going to happen now? At this point, the next match, are you still going to try to win 3-0, or what happens in your strategy between the two of you?
Maybe this is our fate, maybe. Because we tried to win 3-0, but in the third game we lost focus. Then the young player, they play very well today.
So, good opponents, 3-2 winners. Anyway, congratulations. Cheras BC. Good job, guys. Back to you in the Ivocourt commentary box.
Well spoken by Zachary. That's great credit given to their young opponents for playing well and obviously losing focus as well. As we said before, you can't lose focus. And that's exactly what happens. You start losing games.
Yeah, the first two games, Zachary and Hafizi are very comfortable with the smashes, but
the
third and fourth, the youngsters made a comeback and move a bit more forward. But the fifth one, clearly, Hafizi and Zachary just used their experience, being patient, and made their opponent to make more unforced errors.
Well, that's the flip side to the game that a lot of people don't see. You know, if you're it's almost in football, if the goal gets scored, you don't see how bad the defense was. There's always something that leads to something. And in this case, you managed to see a lot of good play, moving them around. And that's why they got the credit from Zachary as well, because they knew that one thing that Chang did do was nullify their smash game and start moving them around. But look at the combination here. One, the space between Zachary and Hafizi, that hardly ever changes. They rotate around each other, never really vertical. And look at the spaces they're finding by just drawing their opponents out. And this is without smashes. The smash comes in the end. Once the space is found, usually at the feet. That's a textbook from them. Unforced as well, 5-set match. So even then, pretty good, actually. All in all, it's about 4 a game from every player. And pretty evenly matched at the net. In fact, those stats, apart from the smash winners, really could have gone Chang and Sim's way.
Yeah, it's quite equal. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why it went to the 5th game.
Well, yeah, but I think it was that close.
Yeah.
We thought for a while. And here we go. This is the 4th match, the mixed doubles, and the one that we've been waiting for, and then it includes the scratch partnership of Tan Kia Meng and Sanatasa Saniru.
And representing Serdang BC,
They're up against Marcus Gideon and Pia Zebediah, who are familiar names around the badminton circuit. Unlike this combination, both singles players, Tan Kang Men had an absolutely incredible match against Iskander Zulkarnain. That was really amazing stuff, but as a singles player, that meant moving around the court, every part of the court, and covering every part of the court. Of course, that's exactly what Sanatasa Saniru does as well, to a lesser level. We'll get back to how that's going to play out. Let's find out from the people who know, the managers who are on court with JD.
All right, once again with the team managers before the start of this matchup. First, with team manager from Serdang BC, Ong Yu Hak. Amelia is missing from action today. You have a scratch pairing right now. Both played singles so far for you. How well do you hope that they'll play together?
I hope that because we put them in because we left only 9 players, because the rest are in Thailand Open and all over the competition. So we have to fix either Amelia or just this Tasha to play. So we decided to put them to try on because this Indonesia pair also quite strong. So we try to put our both singles strong to try our best.
I like that. Put both strong singles players in the doubles to see how it all works out. But over to Rizal Hussein from Cheras BC right now. Your pair, big win that day. But the thing is, you're playing them again today. Did they do everything according to plan, or is there anything that you want them to improve on?
I think they've been doing very well the last game. I'm hoping to see the same today as well.
So hopefully that's going to be a win as well. Back to you in the Ibercore commentary box. Managers, thank you very much.
Well, there were some questions. Donald Spears was in the commentary box with me earlier about this pairing of Tan Ken Meng and Sanatasa, and we've just found out from Ong Yu Hock it's not his ideal pairing because most of his players are away in Thailand. And as for the strength of the singles players, well, they haven't been notching out that many victories. They are, as I said, good at covering the court. The question is, this could be the perfect example of why singles players don't play doubles, or, you know, how easily they can adapt to doubles. But Azrin Ayub was one of the players, very strong singles player, a huge smash. He came in with a doubles combination and was totally lost on court as to where he should be because he was so used to chasing every shuttle. Now, Marcus Gideon, you can see from his world ranking there, knows exactly where he's supposed to be. This clear favourites, him and Pia. I wonder what's going through the mind of Tan Ken Meng.
I would say that
captain, of course.
We should actually
hope
give
the best
some,
for them.
yeah, because they are really good singles player.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, you know, singles player play singles, doubles play double. Can you imagine Usain Bolt doing marathons?
Well, no, the actual example was I was trying to think of Dato Lee Chong Wei playing doubles.
Oh, that's just for fun with Lindan, I still remember.
That was an exhibition thing.
Yeah,
if he could, though, he's got everything he needs, but it would just be half the court he doesn't have to take care of.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's like Usain Bolt, trying to take up rowing, which he'd probably still be good at. Stephen Ong
Cheras
is
BC,
the service judge.
represented by Marcus Gideon and
Ian
Pian
Zabadia.
Zabadia Bernadette.
So, Cheras heavy favourites here, strictly based on
Pian Zabadia Bernadette to Sanatasha
understanding
Kaniru.
between pairs and,
Love all.
well, being doubles
Play.
players. But Tan Kan Meng, the captain of Serdang.
Service over. 1 love. Service over.
And again, the singles player have their own capability, and doubles, obviously, they are faster. Their reflection is much faster. But we could see that the style of singles would be on court today
Yeah,
for Ken Meng
definitely.
and Sanatasa.
Well, they're the right height, if that makes any sense, because if Tan Ken Meng does keep to the baseline and Sanatasa stays near the net, they've both got the shots to make that work. And it would be almost a bit like Ardiansha Putra and Tegan Ingram in terms of how they manage their shots. It's whether Tan Ken Meng will stay on the baseline or not, because he's so used to going to the net drops. Just now, though, they did at least fall back into a defensive pattern. It was flat there, again, occupying the same space on court. It's instinctive. You're a singles player, so.
Oh, that's a nice one. It's very clear that the movement are much faster in doubles. And for singles, normally they would have 2-3 seconds time for them to
really think about it, especially for Sanatasa, of course, a women's game, a lot more based on time and lifting. So far, it hasn't been absolute destruction, but no threat to this 3-point lead for Marcus and Pierce so far. And that is, well, it's the best indication, I suppose. Not being able to reach shuttles is the least of your problems. It's that, both of you trying to take the same shuttle. That's the thing. What really works, and what Afizi and Zachary were showing just now as well, is combination shots where the first player will be running in, take the smash, second player is waiting at the net for whatever return comes back to kill that back. So there's a team effort. It's just seeing the right there from Marcus.
Definitely, it's either you play square or front back, so it's very important for each player or each pair to communicate with each other. And it's all about feeling
Yeah,
on
yeah.
court. It's like, where's your partner on the left, right, front, back?
You've got general guidelines and rules as to front, back, left, right, but ideally rotate around each other. And never stand too vertical, never stand too far apart. Oh, that's good. Not bad.
Service over. 9-4.
So 9-4, as I said, never really troubled. And that lead has just been getting bigger. And you can just see from, well, I think the average neutral that's never seen a doubles match will be able to tell who's been playing doubles and who's been playing singles. Just from the couple of extra steps that Sanatasa and Tan Kian-meng are making just to get into position. You can see the bounding lunges of Marcus and Pierre on the other side, kind of edgy as to where they're supposed to be. 11-4. First game falls in just 4 minutes.
I could predict that it won't be easy for Tan and also
Definitely not.
Sanatasa because Marcus and Pia, they are a very experienced pair as well.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And
But
it's-
also, as I
yeah.
said, it is due to conflicts. Remember, this is a league season. It started on November 25th. It's going to end on February the 5th, actually. Regular season ends on February the 1st. And then there's a Champions Challenge up in Genting, which we urge you to go and check out. Top 8 clubs of the 12 will be up there. But the whole point is from November to February, well, immediately that's longer than any other badminton tournament you can think of, whether it's the Sudirman Cup or Thomas Cup or the All England. It's all usually a week, Monday to Sunday. And that includes the qualifiers. So really it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So in those 4 days is when you're expected to peak and win. In this case, you have to manage yourself for about 3 months with rest days and conflicting tournaments and national duties and deliver. It's a challenge for the managers, obviously a challenge for the players as well.
1 go. Two, go.
Not bad. 3-love up in this second game. Definitely Kian-meng and Sanatasa, it's a bit more warmed up and know where to put the shuttle.
And they're actually the ones leading the unforced error, strangely, statistic as well. Just 4 so far out of 19 points played. Not bad. Caught positionally there, but it's been Marcus and Pierre that have been slower in terms of accuracy in their game. They still won, of course, the first game. And the reason they did that, of course, is they're clear winners, 6-1 up.
5.
They found the spots and they've made them count.
Out. Service over. 2-5.
Really straight to the body.
3-5.
So I think for Kian-meng and Sanatasa, they need to please themselves much better. The positioning will
Well,
help them quite a bit.
That will take time.
Service over. 6-3.
Seven, 3.
Sorry.
It's because that unforced error
7,
tally keeps going up.
Service over. 4-7.
So now service back. Service so important in doubles. Controls that third point, that killing point.
Service over. 8-4.
Wow, great follow-up from Marcus.
Service over.
Now there is going to be a level of class between them, of course, but there was always a chance with a completely scratch pairing of two singles players that you might really get done 11 love. We haven't had an 11 love yet. It came very close in Kenichi Tago's game match yesterday. Didn't. 11-1 in the end. There was 11-1 this afternoon, and that was
6-8.
unsurprisingly from Maki Chun and Tan Bin Shen, who probably smashed their way to an 11-1. And that's the best game score that we've had. So the best tie score has been 18-3. Those are a couple more benchmarks for the teams to aim at. Oh, just caught out positioning again. That's a big smash. So, after being behind, they've managed to pull it together with some textbook doubles.
Shuttle.
We have done this before. Still leading on clear winners, 8-3. Unforced errors in the second game, 9-7. Now, that's the exact type of movement you're looking for, that mirrored movement front and
Wow,
back.
great one.
Service over.
I mean, they took their chance really well in this second game.
Yeah, they really have. And Sanatasa has shown herself. This might be why Ong Yoo-Hok has put them together, because she's shown herself to be better at the net. And Tan Kan Meng has a good all-round game, so on paper it could work. If they win this game, it does work. The momentum changed there. The attacking stance was taken by Marcus Gideon. And the return just long. And again, there's that mirrored movement from Marcus and Pia, front and back, moving left and right, but never exactly in front of each other. But this is an important point. Ong Yoo-Hok, there's a gamble here. Could have just got him out of the game.
Oh, that's a great follow-up.
Yep. It was a deep serve as well. It was a good idea, but it was absolutely smashed back with so much force.
This is when understanding is very important between partners. It's like a good shot and follow up with another good one.
And this is an important point for Marcus and Pierre, and they've done it. So, 11-9.
Won by Serdang BC. 11 down. 1 game all.
You have to admit that with being the underdogs and the clear underdogs, that's not bad. 7 minutes it took them.
Yeah, not bad at all. Compared to the first game, we thought that, hey, this is going to be fast, but not really.
I wonder if this is going to be a platform that they think they can move off. Unforced errors, Marcus and Pia still making more of them. I'll do my classic calculation now. It's 20, 31, that's 35 points. 10 of them given away, 18 altogether. Pretty balanced.
Pia were making quite a bit of unforced error at the net, and to be frank, Sanatasa was really steady at the net in the second one.
How she's been in. Oh, look at that! it's always a Hashim familial affair here, but that's the next generation of Hashims as well. We've seen all of them now.
We have families in Cheras, BC. Hafiz Hashim, we have Hafizi, Roslin Hashim as a coach, Raziz Abdul Latif, and Zakri
all
Abdul Latif.
the Latifs as well.
Yeah.
It's no surprise, of course. Badminton has not been the hidden game in Malaysia for years. A lot of people play it, but it's not surprising to see brothers and sisters going out and just having a hit around themselves, and that usually turns into, well, some really good doubles partnerships in Indonesia. I'll tell you that. This is going to be an interesting game. How are Marcus and Pia going to respond to losing to two singles players?
It's either they took Kian Ming and Sanatasa too easy or overconfidence or a bit too relaxed.
That could be it, exactly. When they saw on the team sheet that they're playing two singles players, they thought, right, we'll just bring off 30-40% game, and I got punished. But they haven't really been pulled apart so far positionally either. Been a couple of instances where they have not moved together in a sense, but they haven't left huge spaces. That's, of course, they have great doubles advice, don't they? Not bad at all.
Yep.
Bit wide.
4-3.
I wonder who that was. That's how close the stands are to the court, by the way.
And it's fun, and it's good for the fans to be near to the players. You don't get this chance.
No, not at all.
A lot of times.
Not at all. Some of the commentary positions I've even taken in literally bird's eye view. But we're just above those two twin towers, by the way. It's a beautiful commentary spot right in front of the court. But yes, the fans get up close and personal here, and that's just another reminder to you all to come and check it out. The Sports Arena Sentosa, right in the middle of KL. All 12 of these clubs from districts in KL. And all those things that matter, parking and logistics and directions, all easy to get to. So if you do have an evening, we've seen people every single night. There were 16 days of action, and within that, we've got to halfway through round 6 of 11. Each match day, usually 3 days of action for all 12 clubs to play each other.
Nice.
I think Tan Kian Ming is enjoying this. I think he's actually. I wonder if we'll see a shock decision from him to suddenly become a doubles player because of this, because you really focus on a lot more stuff. And that was one of the very few shots that Sanatasa has missed from the net. She's been solid enough to play around. Again, taking control of the net. Well, went for a singles return there. He was about to do behind the back. There you go. No, wasn't going to work.
Kian Ming and Sanatasa has to think a bit more on court, while Marcus and Pia, it comes naturally because they've been training as a doubles player.
Yeah, you start thinking like a doubles player as well. And that's something you just can't teach, from what I've heard. And Ng Huilin was sitting here, former national badminton player. She was telling us exactly the same thing about understanding. You have to completely trust your partner. And if they start making mistakes, you can't blame them. And definitely, you have to always fight for the point. That was good movement forward from here.
They're having fun.
They are having
that's
fun.
The most important part.
The most important thing. He's probably wondering how fast that shuttle came back, because in the singles game, time. There, caught out just there because he was watching Sanatasa's game a bit too much, and caught out again. But he was almost admiring Sanatasa's singles returns there for a second. He was just caught out. Now we have seen some natural mixed doubles players. Chao Mei Kwan just this afternoon racked up her latest win. She's 18 years old and literally has moved into the mixed doubles scene in that Sanatasa role up at the front of the net so perfectly well. Hardly ever misses, knows when to duck, knows when to smash, knows when to take control. That's why Moa City are at the top at the moment, because not only are their established stars delivering, but some of their younger stars are just fully delivering as well. That's Tan Kian Meng caught out, back to net. Never going to go off from that. Good return back, considering. It's another game that falls, that one in 6 minutes.
The second game and third game is much better than the first one, obviously. But looks like Marcus and Pia, they were calmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they know what to do next and stuff like that.
Actually, based on the stats, they look calmer because they are a doubles pairing and they move a lot easier. But the reason they're winning this right now is because their clear winners are actually more than their unforced errors. It's kind of like there is a leaky boat, but they're managing to kind of clear it out quick enough. 14 unforced errors from them, 15 clear winners as opposed to 12 unforced errors and 8 clear winners from the two singles players. That's how I'm going to mention them.
Just at the right corner.
Just hope.
But it's very interesting to see two players on one side and still, yet their opponent get to see the empty space for them to attack.
You have to literally vision a dream where that space is going to be. That's a great shot. That's one of those shots that Morten Frost said would speak to you. It's the one that, there you go.
Oh, too wide.
Shot, yeah. It's the kind of shot you really want to play. Because that's the shot that will give you the advantage in the point. It's guaranteed going to force one of their opponents off to the side. There's a lot of space. Well done, Tan Kian Meng. Well done.
2-1.
Taking control at the front and then just finish it. That's a great singles play.
Yeah, that's what
a
I mean.
good tactic.
A lot of their points so far, either Sanatasa has taken control of the net, won it, or Tan Kian Meng has done the same. Not really combining, but if he gets the job done. Oh, that was open season, that was so high. Still very nice return from Sanatasa. Forced the error. And they're now 4-1 up in the fourth. Games coming from surprise areas for Ong Yu Hok's Serdang side. And I think that would have been a key point if it had been 5-1 based on that net tumble. And you would have favored them to go on and take this. And now it's 4-2.
Pia has been making quite a bit of unforced error.
Then now, I said now that unforced error total is more than above. You hardly ever see that view of Zachary, just his face over the. That actually.
And he's a happy man.
Yeah, he is. And just waiting a couple of seconds, milliseconds too long to decide which shot to play. And that immediately gives the advantage to Marcus and Pierre.
25.
Definitely got it in them to close up to 5. They would have heard all of these post-match interviews. They know how important it is to keep it as low scoring as possible. 4 games, 3 ideally. And that's in no way to spite Serdang in any way. It's just they want to climb up the title. They want to climb up the table.
Yep.
To do that, they are said -8 at the moment in 7th spot, Cheras. So we'll need to get, honestly speaking, a 15 or a 16, and then ask for a equal results in Kapong and Ampang Jaya's tie if they're going to move up. But that will see them go up to possibly 4th.
Tianming is really strong with the smashes. They're doing really well because Anatasa, it's very steady at the net.
Yeah, well, for these last few points, definitely.
Yeah, any high shots, and Tianming, he's always there to finish it.
So that option of each one winning the point is still there. Them creating space for each other, that is what we haven't seen much of, what we probably didn't expect much of. And that just blasted off Tan Kiang Meng's racket. (8-5) though, still a healthy lead. Not anymore. Now it's 8-6. So that's the difference. 11 points. Now again, there, if that had literally led to a lift, which Tan Kiang Meng could have smashed down, that would have been their point. But because at the end, both of them were playing at the net.
Yeah, it's a bit too high.
That's why there were spaces behind them. It's better. He's still pretty static though, Tan Kiang Meng. But they are 2 points away from game 4.
What a great one.
Finished off. Will she be the next women's singles champion?
She would.
Who knows?
Yeah,
She's got the movement. Did you see that? A lot of youngsters have turned up, and it's good to see them turning up with posters and flags of likes of Chong Wei Feng and Wu Darren supporting the next generation of Malaysian shuttlers, or rather our current generation of Malaysian shuttlers. And of course promotions and all sorts of contests and activities associated with the Kopiko Purple League, which you can be part of if you just log on to www.purpleleague.com or get yourself down here to the Sports Arena Sentosa. We see a clinical smash needed at that point. Marcus and Pierre would like to close us out in 4.
Yeah, they got 2 points in a row.
Yeah, it is tough though because, well, if you're facing a smashing pair, you'd go low over the net, but if you're facing a net pair, you go high behind them. But Sanatasa being at the net and then Tan Kiang Meng being at the back means you know, pick your spots one by one. Oh, it's out, and that has a double game point. Wow. Well, it's a 1 game point, match point. Talked about this earlier. 1 point to decide each of the games in the Kopiko Purple League. Match point, Marcus and Pierre. Game point for Sanatasa. Should be finished off. Oh, well, that's just brilliant play from Marcus Pierre. They locked it up at 7-10 down and did what experienced players do, which is not specifically play off the unforced errors. They knew the weapons that were coming at them, but the right amount of pressure, the right amount of time.
Cheras BC, 11-4,
Clear roles
9,
defined for both of them.
11-8, 11-10.
And they take it in 4, so not the worst loss at all. And they're happy they got through that. Now let's see whether JD asked the pertinent question of what did it feel like losing to 2 singles players, because that's the question I want answered as we look at the tie score. 12-3, 11-4, 9-11, 11-8, 11-10. Let's hear from the winners on court.
All right, down here on court with the winners of the mixed doubles match, an amazing mixed doubles match. Did you expect so much trouble winning this match? They gave you a tough time, right?
Yeah. First time I think will be not so hard to play because they all play singles, right? But the second set I lose focus, just like playing a little bit relaxed. Then he become good.
Now let's talk about that 4th set. It could have gone either way. They could have won at any point. How did you stay focused? What did your coach tell you? Untuk set keempat, how did you stay focused? What did your coach tell you?
They say if we just try to focus more. Yeah.
All right, focus you did. It's a win. Congratulations on Cheras BC. Congratulations, man. Back to you in the Ivor Court commentary box.
It is all about
What
focus.
a
And now,
match.
if we look at some of the highlights, it wasn't the worst performance from 2 singles players, has to be said, but there are plenty of instances where they were caught out, and we'll get to them in just a second. Right now, just looking at some of the power plays that came from Marcus and Pierre. Good, solid partnership, but it looked a lot better as it's really about where you are on the court. While they did commit 22 unforced errors in the end, sorry, 19, it's 20 clear winners. That's how they won this game. Now, this is what we're talking about. If you look at singles players and doubles players, well, look at that. That is not the ideal situation to have. And then the reaction from it, of course, leaves this huge space, which wasn't capitalized on by Marcus and Pierre. Now, that's just ball watching, or shuttle watching, I suppose you could say. That angle was clearly marked out so early, and Tan Kam Meng, you could tell by his eye line exactly where he was focused on. And it's places like that, it's focusing on the court, that's where the points are going to be won. Unforced errors, 19 for Marcus and Pierre, and deserved as well, that tally, because a few off, but they won a lot more. Smash winners dominated the net, and in the end, as I said, not the worst performance that we've seen from 2 singles players who've been put together, because their teammates, a lot of them are in Thailand. So well done, Tan Kam Meng and Sanatasa Saniru. Now joining me in the commentary box again, Donald Spears, for the last 2 matches. And I'm glad you're here because you're a big fan of So Wee.
Yes.
And he's going to be playing this man, Syed Akbar Shah.
He will be. And look at that, it's a change of racket from Syed Akbar Shah. He had a fleet racket his last game that broke, and he's not taking the risk again. He's changed. Maybe he doesn't want to take the chance. I saw him practicing earlier on tonight upstairs, and you know, really he just smashes so hard. He really absolutely hammers it every time he gets
He is one of
onto
those
the shuttle.
big smash players. When put up against the likes of Azrin Ayubin, well, we'll get to that all in a second, because as they measure up the net, I think the managers, as you can see on court, with JD about to give us their views.
All right, down here with the managers once again before the start of the match. First, Ong Yu Hok from Serdang, BC. The other day, you gave Wuyik a huge task against Tago. How do you think he's going to fare today?
I think I hopefully that he will be playing well, because according to this few days, he is quite in good form, you know. So I predict he will be playing well and will win. Yeah.
All right, we'll see how it all turns out. Over to Rizal Hussain right now from Cheras BC. You're back with Syed Akbar. He's a battler, but you need 3 love wins preferably. Have you set that target for him in this match?
Yes, definitely. He's got to try very much harder. We're always weak at the second men's single, so he's got to prove himself this time.
Right, cool. We'll see how it all pans out. Once again, back to you, the Ivor Court commentary box.
Yes, and Interesting confidence from Ong Yu Hok about his player. He's so Woy Yik has a world ranking, Syed Akbar Shah does not. So on paper, so Woy Yik is the favorite, but we know how powerful Syed Akbar is in the Kopiko Purple League. Had a very notable victory against Iskander, and this young player has performed very well in his singles match, his first singles match against Kenichi Tago. Gave him a good account, managed to get 11-8, 11-8, 11-8. Looked very composed for a young player, but just didn't quite have the weapons to overcome Kenichi Tago in his game against Petaling. But here against Syed Akbar, he has a different player less experienced, less renowned on the world circuit, but still with plenty of weapons to cause So Woy Yik some problems. So quite a fascinating matchup that we have between these two Kopiko Purple League players.
Please, ready to play. Ladies and gentlemen,
He's going back to maybe the tried and trusted weapon. Isn't that interesting? What's behind the change of racket for Syed Akbar? Is it last minute nerves perhaps? We saw that he was most effective when he came on the attack and used the powerful smash that he has. Let's see if he starts brightly here.
A nice early pace to the game. Now, of course, So Woy Yik was up against Kenichi Tago on Sunday. And obviously ended an 8-3, win to Tago, but he was pushed 11-8, 11-8, 11-8. That's the performance that impressed you, Donald?
Yes, I was saying that, that he gave a good account of himself, good composure, and also played some clever constructed points against Kenichi Tago, kept his concentration all the way through the match. It's very unusual for such a young player to be able to achieve that, but actually So Woy Yik has been on the circuit for a long time. He's played a lot of youth championships, played some international series matches also, so he's already very comfortable playing at a high level, playing against the best in the world, so perhaps no surprise that he did well against Kenichi Tago, even though he couldn't get his team a vital game.
Yeah. It was always going to be tough playing the likes of Tago. Here, though, against Syed Akbar Shah, well, there's a lot of areas of Syed Akbar Shah's game which he could exploit.
Interesting to see Syed Akbar Shah starting a little bit nervously, perhaps.
Yeah.
Not looking very sharp at the moment.
I found that in the previous 5 match days, it's not a question of technique, it's not a question of shots. He's got a killer smash, but movement, definitely. A little bit sluggish at times. That's something that could be exploited by So.
Yeah, certainly it was noticeable that when Akbar played Xiang, there was just a short amount, there was just a small amount of slow movement that's almost barely perceptible, but he stepped it up really when he played Iskander. You saw him stretching a lot more and getting out of position, and that was really quite effective, and took him through that match with five games, wasn't it?
Yeah, if he can do that from the start, then he could be cleaning up 3-love.
That was just there. That was the type of attack we saw against Iskander that was very effective in the end.
You can see he's falling back. A good hook smash right to the floor. Clear daylight around. Now this man, as I was saying, was looking for 18-love. 18-0 win. That would have been the first we've ever seen. He's still on course here for matching the best, which was 18-3, if, of course, Syed Akbar Shah can come through 3-0. He's going to have to count on that smash. He's going to do it. 11 points played so far, 9 of them given away to errors.
Oh, nice deception.
Smash winner coming from Akbar's one we saw.
Yep, was just
clear winner from himself.
wrong-footed there.
Yeah, it's a good example again of how just a few inches out of where you're supposed to be, that might be the crucial amount of time, be it milliseconds, that you need to get there and make the shot. That is a classic unforced error. It actually goes down under service errors. No.
This is a quick game already. Not a lot of time between the serves. Real contrast between the match that we saw Tago play against Zoe Fadley last night, I think.
Oh, definitely, yeah. That was huge. That was a 49-minute game today. That was the first 2 games that were won for Serdang by, well done as well, by Chang Yi-jun and Sim Go-zheng. They lost out 3-2 to Mohamed Hafizi Hashim and Zachary Abdulatif in the end, but trust me, they made the experienced doubles pair feel that 2 games. It's well done by them. That's the longest game that we've seen. Now it's that smash that seems to be keeping a bit of daylight between Syed Akbar and So Wookie, and that's what I was wondering about, whether he'd be able to deal with that smash.
Again, so far when Akbar's had the chance to unleash it, there's been no response from...
Yeah, that's out. So the game point falls. So's already on 7 unforced errors, just in this first game. Make that 8. So, not specifically a question of Syed Akbar coming out and absolutely dominating this. He was definitely given the chance. Let's see if So can pull back on those errors in the second game. Just took 5 minutes to get that. 11-7.
Both players pretty happy to move the pace of the game along and not take a lot of time between their serves.
Yep.
But we saw Kenichi Tago absolutely the master of taking his time, dominating.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Just making sure he was fully ready for the point and coming through some testing matches so far.
And his friend and big mate Kento Momoto, who's been, of course, watching him, came out today, earlier on this afternoon. There's another big win from Moa City, 15-5. Kento started, that was 3-0 over Ronald Susilo, 11-5, 11-4, 11-7. Absolutely clean dismissal from him as well. Tai Tzu Yingja then turned up with her usual 3-point game. Chao Pak Chu and Tan Wee Kyung made it 3-1. Chan Peng Sun and Cha Mei Kwan again 3-0. Tan Chun Xiang 3-0. And Ma Ki Chun and Tan Bin Chen. Such a strong lineup that Moa City have, came in with their 3-1. So another big haul for Moa City. That's why they're sitting pretty on top of the table. And Puchong United will be in action, if I'm right, against Nusa Jaya tomorrow. We'll be here for that. A lot of people are going to be wondering as to whether they can catch Moa City, who are just piling on the points. Right, as we get back to the second game.
There's a string gone from Syed Akbar.
Not surprising to see all these big smashes, killing shuttlecocks and breaking strings. Thankfully, though, the racket's still holding up.
Changing to
a different racket.
Completely different style of racket as well.
Well, this is interesting. That is something I know very little about there, Donald. Different styles of racket?
You know, it's a very individual preference.
Yeah.
But definitely the flex of the racket, the weight of it, and the way the strings are tensioned make a difference to a player. It's about feel,
right,
what they're comfortable with.
So
trying something different.
What you're saying is, if you have a more smash-based game, it'd be a higher tension on the racket, or it'd be a different setup for your racket based on what kind of game you play.
Yeah, different string tension depending on how much speed you can generate with your swing. So the higher tension is usually for higher speed swings. So that's why younger players can't generate the same speed at the top of the racket head. So the tension a bit lower. Also with a harder string and a stiffer racket, it puts more shock onto the body, so body has to be stronger to cope with that. And that's where all those hours and hours of training really pay off, because when you have a high string tension and a stiff racket, really you can only have, if you're not really used to it, 1 or 2 shots, and then pain will start.
Wow.
These players are playing all the time, so they usually have the string tensions pretty high, and that brings some benefits with power and also control. So,
and these are the kind of details that are just totally left out when people do watch badminton. You know, the whole Kopiko Purple League is about details and just really not showing them up, but I suppose exposing them so they can be fixed, so that we get a better class of badminton player that comes out, especially from these youngsters.
Definitely not recommended for beginners to put the string tension up at all. They'll find a lot of problems in their game that will result. So, but here, Syed Akbar under pressure already.
Yeah.
5-2.
Well, he's made a few more errors.
2-5.
That's for certain. They're both tied at 9 now. 18 all in all, with 26 points played, 18 of them, 19 of them gone to unforced errors.
And it's gone out.
Now Rizal Hussain was looking for the clean 18, as I like to call it, so that he could make an impression on Pataling and Ampang Jaya, who are 5th and 6th, ahead of him in the table. Currently before this match, he's at -8 games difference. They were at 9 and +22, so he's got a good chance at probably taking Pataling to start with. Currently going to be taking 10 games away from this, so he'll be at +2.
Well, by Syed Akbar standards, he is misfiring, and he's behind in this game.
Because of those misfires. If he gets it right.
A different approach he's taking here. He's playing much quicker points, and we saw him really concentrating against some of his other opponents, and in this game it's more, I would say, rushed, but it doesn't matter if he pulls out shots like that.
Well, I said he can smash pretty much at any position of body, falling back, falling forward, left, right, and the obvious jump as well.
And he's such a good technical player, Syed Akbar. Really good defense, gets down low.
Yeah. Great disguise drop.
And has full range of shots to draw on.
The entire action of that looked like it was going to be power, and then just kills all speed at the end. Also trying to do the hustling approach.
Is that called out? That's called out.
Out.
8-7.
Goish
Bar back in control now.
was showing some speed on a feet there. Just couldn't control his cross-court net shot.
Well, so far in this tie, we've seen Ong Yoo-hock especially, well, one, be animated to the point that I actually think that we should cut an entire program of all of his reactions at the end of the season, because it's been wonderful to watch. But more importantly, what he's been saying while being animated is what won Chang and Sim those 2 games. He literally stepped up, all the hand signals were there, but they went out, they absolutely did it. Fast, flat across, no serve, no smashes allowed back. And they won the 2, went to 5.
A really great result for those 2 youngsters.
Yeah, it's really good for them. And he's doing it again right now. And he can just see the game being, of course, absolute legend that he is.
And this is again impressive from So Wo Yik.
Yeah.
He was a national doubles youth champion along with the other singles player of this evening, which is Tan Jie Wei, and they've been split up to play a single match now.
Well, Ong Yoo-hock did say just before this match that a lot of his players are off in Thailand. There's another conflict there. I mean, there's another scheduling conflict. There's a Thai event going on. So he's had to, in a sense, put together a makeshift team. They have delivered, as we said, as many games as they can. And they've upset. And you can just see Ong Yoo-hock right there. If you can get the camera on him now, he knows exactly where he wants to put these shots. And he's telling them all, here you go, exactly where. It's there, and then here, and then over there.
Certainly is.
He's so passionate, so it's brilliant.
He's certainly making a point, making it clear for So what he has to be doing.
You see what I mean? I think we should cut a separate program at the end of the season for all the managers and how they respond to their players, because it is a new experience for them as well. You have a real chance here at transferring this knowledge of going all the way up to the heady heights at the top of the badminton world, being able to pass it on to youngsters and leave their legacy for real.
Well, So Yik has just been rushed behind in this game, 2 games down, and he needs to really just make a mark and settle down and take his time and start defending his side of the court.
Yeah.
Not giving in to the pressure of Zaid Akbar. Just a little bit off.
Yeah, a little bit off. That is a serious
Youthful
infraction.
exuberance. You can't do that in professional badminton. Touch the net.
I like the tone that she took with it. Don't hit the net again. It really does. It highlights, though. It said there's so much of the game that these youngsters still have to learn. So what we're actually seeing is a very good performance from all of them.
Oh, great defense. Great defense.
Yeah, caught Syed as he was moving to the front of the net.
So not put off by that. I would call it a minor scolding from the umpire. And defending really well against
Minor reprimand,
who was just following up with venom.
And he was so clearly moving for the kill shot, and it went straight past him. Now this is much better from So. He's playing the points. Knows where he wants to go. He's going to have to take a good shot from side to break him out of that rhythm.
It's gone long. But So will not be able to rely on Akbar mistakes. He's going to have to find a way to pressure his opponent, and he's not really doing that at the moment.
And he's going to have to find a killing move. Syed has his well-known smash. You can defend against it by playing very low and flat, but it is always going to be there. Now, So has shown that his smash isn't the most powerful. It's far more of a placement.
And he's gone back to the tried and tested racket. Isn't that interesting? Well, there's definitely
I can see what you're saying.
A higher amount of unforced errors from Akbar.
Yeah.
With the change of style, he's obviously not used to it yet, but he gave it a try. I wonder if we're going to see him now close out the match with his tried and trusted weapon.
Well, the first point has fallen to his favorite gun. But I can see exactly what you're talking about. You know, that is the transference point of the mind to the shot, that racket and your grip on it. I know my knowledge of it went to the kinds of grips that they have for less moisture and perspiration, just to get a better grip on it and the way you hold it. But I never actually thought about the actual racket itself and how it's set up and the different types you can get. We've already seen 2 racket changes from Zaid Akbar. It must play on your mind as a player.
Lovely attack from Gos Woi Yik. I mean, this is a really, really promising young player.
Yeah, he's showing here everything he wasn't allowed to show against Kenichi Tago. Left it a bit late.
7-3.
I don't know if Syed was gesturing towards him, his opponent, but he was definitely saying something. No, I think he's ready. Wow, there's only a few options. That's what was going to happen from that. Left in the perfect area, hanging in the air, exactly where he wants it.
He just really hammers it when he lets go, doesn't he?
And that one's wide, so
5-7.
he could have won this a lot more cleanly. His unforced errors Syed Akbars are still one above So's, but it's that outright winner. And as we saw there, a smash that's so strong that even if it's not an outright winner, most probably going to get you the point.
Akbar just easily defending So's attack and setting up his own attack, but this is brighter, more jabbing, more pushing, and Akbar under real pressure here. So just not able to convert on that occasion, but that was better pressure from So. More fast hands, fast shots. Akbar didn't like that at all.
There you go, 18 apiece.
And Akbar's turn to get the, well, I won't call it lucky defense, but certainly the shuttle fell just nicely for him to get a racket on it and did well to control it.
53